It's hard for me to overstate the honor I feel to have the privilege of welcoming Judy and Dennis Shepard to Virginia. Every gay man in America of a certain age remembers that searing moment when we first learned that their son Matthew had been crucified on a hill in Wyoming. Shock at the brutality of the crime was matched by our own raw fear and dread. We knew it could happen to any one of us at any moment, tortured and left to die alone. When hate is glorified by official prejudice, the murder of innocence is the all too inevitable result. I met Judy Shepard in Los Angeles, surprisingly soon after Matthew's death. She came to speak against hate crimes. She came to free us from the anguish consuming us and making us afraid. When I saw her, I cried. And this grieving mother who had suffered the most monstrous tragedy imaginable, she comforted me. She comforted all of us. I'm not a Christian, so please forgive me if I take this metaphor a bit too far. But in my view, Matthew Shepard was crucified for the original sin of homophobia. He died for all of our sins. His sacrifice at first seemed just one horror among many, even if his was the most terrifying. But then Judy and Dennis descended like angels from heaven to give meaning to meaninglessness, hope to hopelessness, purpose to wanton cruelty. They transformed the senseless loss of their son and gave meaningful life to the generations that would follow him in a country that to this day remains all too desensitized to acts of brutal violence. Matthew could have been forgotten, along with the sea of rainbow youth who every day take their own lives in a closet filled with loneliness and despair. But Judy and Dennis exalted Matthew's memory to save us all. Their dedication actually began to cleanse the long resistant stain of centuries of hate. Generation after generation still carries this burden, but the Shepherds, through their unflinching resilience and dignity, have made all our crosses easier to bear. And America is eternally grateful for their sacrifice. Somewhere in some small town today, some young woman is being loved by her friends. Some trans child is being accepted at their school. And some gay man is celebrated for his flair instead of mocked for his difference. And all because Judy and Dennis stepped up in the midst of their own private tragedy to make all our lives a little better. These angels will never know how many lives they saved, but we will never forget.